match day 1 in the Premier League is just around the corner, but have you picked your fantasy 11? Well, let's take a look, shall we? That's right, folks, back once again with another video. This time it's all fantasy football, boys and girls, as we look ahead to match day 1 in the Premier League. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Premier League related, fantasy football related, world football related, and of course Blackburn Rovers related. We got it all here under one roof. Yes, that's right, boys and girls. So let's take a look at it. Now I'm gonna break down a little bit. We're gonna take a look at the fact the league, which you can still join if you can get the code in this week. It should be up there at the gym somewhere. So smash that in if you've not joined. There are cash prizes. I'm going to get all that information out to you now. $10 a month, pounds a month, dollars a month, whatever it is a month for the manager of the month, and also a cash prize for the grand victorious manager at the end of it. $100, whatever equivalent. So get involved. Yeah, we're going to do weekly updates starting right here in episode or match day 1. So, I'm going to give you an update here. Let's get cracking. Now, this is my current team. We're going to talk more about my team just for initially. Then we're going to take a look at some players and all that kind of good stuff. I'm not going to bore you too much. And then we'll take a look at the lead. So, this is my team as of recording. It's probably not going to do this because why would I do this? Well, I'll show you my team and then keep it, because someone might just clone it and go, you know what, I'm just going to follow you. But it has changed since my introduction video. I did kind of wipe the board a little bit and bring in some more players, but I'm not really going to be talking too much about that and these guys. What we're going to be talking about is some tips for you, perhaps. So what I'm going to do now is going to quickly run through the Premier League fixtures and show you the games that could provide the answer. Maybe what games are likely to see some goals, what games are likely going to be ball draws, and all that kind of good stuff, so that you can kind of shape your initial team to suit those fixtures. So let's get cracking. So here we are, boys and girls, in the Premier League. These are the opening games of the Premier League season. Now, what I'm going to go is kind of just run through them quickly to show you the games that I believe should be avoided. Like, for example, I'm going to write at the bottom there, Manchester United against Chelsea. You just don't know what's going to happen in that game. Obviously, Solskjaer's bringing in some players and all that kind of good stuff, but up against a Frank Lampard Chelsea, you just don't know about that one. So that's probably a game you want to avoid having your leading man, your strikers, your whatever. But anyway, let's go through it from the top. So Liverpool versus Norwich City, I think that's a stone cold home win for Liverpool. So, you know, if you're looking at strikers, the only probably concern for me is Sadio Mane or any players involved in African nations football. They're probably late to the game. I think I just heard today on Monday that Sadio Mane just returned from his break after the African Cup of Nations. So he's probably not going to be game fit for this one. So I'd avoid him. Mo Salah the same. I might not get. I know he featured in the Charity Shield on the weekend, but you know, it's a stone cold home win for me. So you're looking at maybe a defense, your Van Dijk, your Alissons, that kind of stuff to give yourself some points. Same can be said for the Manchester City up against West Ham. But to be honest with you, I am giving Manchester City the thumbs up here, and I do expect them to win. But there's a bit of a banana skin. I think West Ham will give them a bit of a struggle, but ultimately Manchester City should come out top. So you're looking at Sterling's for goals, creativity. Not too sure who they're going to play in the defence. Obviously, Walker should be in there. Stones possibly. Yeah, so you're looking at goals from Liverpool and Manchester City in the opening game. The Bournemouth up against Sheffield United one. Again, I am siding with the Premier League experience of Bournemouth. Anyhow, has it locked down, but I'm not too sure what area. So I'd stay away from the defenders for Bournemouth for this time. And maybe Callum Wilson up top is likely to get you some goals in match day 1. Sheffield United, I think they will probably score in this game as well. So you're looking again, McBurney, Freeman. But they're question marks. It's the new game, new era, Sheffield United, especially day 1. You just don't know what Wilder's going to do. What basically he's going to be. Wilder will play his wild cards here because you just don't know. Is he going to keep his formation that got him into the Premier League? The 3 at the back, the overlapping fullbacks or overlapping centre-backs or whatever, you know, the style that he did to get himself there. Same could be applied for them six-fingered freakazoids, Burnley. Them Mongoloids. They're always tough to beat at the old shit-stained stadium that is Burnley. So, against Southampton, Che Adams, he might get you a goal. But, you know, I think Burnley, comfortable at home, especially against these middle-of-the-road Premier League teams. You know, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with at home. I'm not saying they're gonna win them all, but they're gonna make it difficult. So these are the opening 4 teams that I feel are likely to give you some positives moving into the fantasy section. As for Crystal Palace Everton, difficult one to call here. Obviously, Wilfred Zaha's big talking point. Will he play? Transfer window does shut before the kickoff of the season, so he'll know come this game that he's either a Crystal Palace player or an Everton player, Arsenal player, whatever it is. But if he ends up being a Crystal Palace player, will he be happy about playing? Will they leave him out? So a big question. That's a big X for me. Avoid this one at your peril. What have I got for the next one? I've got Watford over Brighton here. I think Watford at Vicarage Road should edge Potter's new boys. And again, he's starting to craft a new team. It's just brought in Webster, looking at bringing in Maupay as well, Championship players who might struggle to initiate, to get into the vibe in the first game of the season. So, yeah, your Watford boys, your Troy Deeney's up top will probably score you a goal this weekend. Maybe one of their creative midfielders. We'll take a look at the stats and all that kind of good stuff next. Again, avoid the next one, I think. Tottenham against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they're buying 12 players so far. What's going to happen to the boys that were there last season? You just don't know, opening day, what Villa are going to play, unless you've got some inside information. Tottenham on the flip side as well, I don't know. I'm a little bit unconvinced by Tottenham up against a Villa team that could be packed full of surprises. So again, I'd avoid that one at your peril. Same goes to Leicester City. I'm not too sure about them up against Wolves. I think these two sides are very equal. Wolves have been very busy Europa League wise, and can you judge their starting 11 for the Premier League of what they've been playing in the Europa League? Probably not. So avoid those two games. And in fact, probably avoid the next 4 on a stretch. I think Newcastle bringing in Joelinton is probably going to start, but realistically, are Newcastle going to oust Arsenal? I don't know. I think this game is all set for a draw, and I think the final game here, Manchester United against Chelsea, is probably going to be favourable to Manchester United, but ultimately I think there's going to be goals in this one regardless. So so those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I'd say of you've got a favourable victor in it, and the big X's down the middle are the games that I feel are questionable, and they're going to be difficult to pick players from those teams to kind of boost your team. So anyway, let's kick it on further and take a look at some of the players that you should choose. So with that bit of information that I kind of threw at you a little bit, just a quick look, a recap of the top goalkeepers from last year. Now, obviously, budget has to be considered here, but Alisson and Ederson, the top two goalkeepers within the division, obviously topped the rankings as well last season. Pickford's in there though; he could be a good option in third spot with Lloris and Fabianski. Now Fabianski's got a big fat exclamation mark, so I don't think he will be for consideration for the opening day. But 143 points, it could be an option for a cheap goalkeeper. In fact, actually, quite have a look at his price. Does he have his price listed on here? 5 million for 143 points last season. Pickford on the flip side, he's also rated at 5.5 million, and I'm sure these boys are higher, 6 million. So there's a good £1 million difference between Alisson and Fabianski, and there's a good 30 points, give or take, as well. Dubravka's in there for Newcastle. He could also be an option, rated at 5 million as well. And Watford's Forster, he kind of got the number 1 jersey from what's his chops. I can't remember his name, the veteran Gomez, who decided in the end to stick around for another season. So, so these are your picks, probably your top 10s anyway. Anything outside, like Lurzel's just arrived at Everton. He's obviously going to be understudied to Pickford, but it's a good keeper to have on their books. But it's a terrible pick for fantasy, because realistically he's not going to get any game time under Pickford as well. So there are some question marks as well. Crystal Palace, I'm not too sure about them with their keeper. De Gea is obviously a banker for getting some goals. He's available at a little bit of a discount, 5.5 million. But what are you going to get from Manchester United? You just don't know. Quick look at some of the top defenders. Again, dominated by Manchester City and Liverpool. The top 3 defenders are Liverpool based, and they're all going to come out of a hefty cost. Lapoitra is in there for Manchester City, but he's got a big fat exclamation mark. And there's a whole bunch of Chelsea boys as well, with this Everton guy poking his nose in there, 6 million. Lucas Digne, he could also be a good option for you. Wolves, I've got a defender in there with 140 points again with an exclamation mark, and that is Matt Doherty. He's got a 75% chance of playing in the opening day. Van Arnholt as well could be a pickup, and Nathan Ake has been quoted today around about £75 million if he's going to make the switch from Bournemouth to Leicester. I doubt that will happen, but £5 million, that's a bit of a bargain. I think I'm actually pluck for him and going in my side. And again, if you go back to the games that I think are going to be favourable with Bournemouth up against Sheffield United. That could be a shout for day one. Meanwhile, on the midfielders, again, heavily stacked with Manchester City and Liverpool players. Salah, Mo Salah's classed as a midfielder here, as is Sterling. I don't know. To be honest with you, it's a dubious classification. Mane as well in there. Sigurdsson tops the pops of the outsiders, and then there's young Fraser. I say young, he's about 20. What is he? 20, late 20s or something like that. 7.5 million for Ryan Fraser. He was linked to go to Arsenal earlier in the window, but no bueno. So he's got 179 points, but there's a good gap between him and these three chasing pack with Salah, Sterling, and Mane. With over 200 points to their name. Other ones that you could consider as well. Felipe Anderson was a hit with West Ham as well. Any other bargains down here? Milinkovic, 166 points as well. He must be a first name on the sheet for Crystal Palace fans. And then we're going to move on to the forwards. There's not many big names here. It's quite surprising at what's considered a forward these days. Aubameyang is up there with Aguero knocking on the door. Jimenez is third in the rankings with 7.5 million. Will he duplicate his form in this time? He's only like 25 points adrift of Aubameyang, and he comes at a good 3.5 million cheaper, so that could be an option as well. But he's got the exclamation mark, which means he will probably be out for the day one. Vardy's in there, Wilson as well is in there with 168 points as well. Harry Kane, valued at 11 million, one of the top ranking strikers, is only got 160 points last season. He was injured for a portion of it as well. And Josh King got 141 points as well for 6.5 million. So there's some bargains to be had in the middle of the road here. Glenn Murray, will he score goals this time out? And Ashley Barnes as well. Rashford, 8.5 million. So that's just a quick overview of the sort of strikers and players that could offer you the points you need. A quick look at some of the players that are unavailable for match day one. Let's actually break this down by position because it makes it a little bit easier. So, yeah, 4 goalkeepers unavailable. Woodman's probably not going to get game time anyway. Norris and Nyland. So, backup keepers unavailable. Fabianski's the only one that's going to be out, or looks like it's going to be out as well. As for the defenders, there's a whole host of them. Starting at the top here, Lapoitre looks like he's not going to make it. Kelly looks out for sure. Daniels, Long, Delph, Tarkowski. But where's he going to be playing anyway? That's the question mark. Klose as well for Norwich. Newly promoted Clark as well. He's gone on to join Derby on loan. So he's ruled out for the season. Aurier Davies from Spurs out. Richie, this one was my initial pick for defender because I don't think he's a defender. I think he's more of a midfielder and he's likely to score you some goals. Baines as well. Steve Cook also looks like he's on the injury list. Navarro's joined Leganes over in La Liga. Bailey and Mendy also out. Trippier's gone as well. He's off the book, so don't pick him. Yedlin, there's a lot of big names here that are out. Quick look at the midfielders. Ali's out, Sane's out. Was he going to be a player anyway? Milner is questionable. Green has gone to Preston. El Hazi is questionable as well. Pogba, 75% chance of playing. So they're gambles. Further down the list, Willian is a big question mark. Lukeman's gone. Aubameyang, whatever his name is. Aubameyang has gone to Sassuolo. Whatever his name is, Gay has gone to PSG. Kante's questionable. Ampadu's gone to Leipzig. Cavallero and Costa both gone. So a lot of players out transfer-wise, so don't bother picking them, period. And other questionables here, Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, also out. And that's your midfielders. How about strikers? Lacazette got as a bit iffy. Defolio, who's got points last season, and Jimenez, they are all 75% chance of playing. As for these other boys here, Gallagher, don't pick him, he's a rover now. Giselu, Arnautovic and Jansen, all gone. From the Premier League. So before I wrap up this baby, quick look at the Blackburn Overseas cash cow. Like I said at the top of the shop, it is still open for this this week. I think the applications and acceptances and all that will close on the match day on Friday, basically. So yeah, we are a stacked league now, boys and girls. We have around about knocking on 100 people in there. Best name in the group. Let's have a quick look here. Scuds, Duds, Unbelievable Jeff is in there. Blackburn United FC, weird. What else we got? Rover Seas, oh, that's me. Am I in this twice? I don't know. What else we got here? Blazing Squad are in here. Nice to see. Dunder Mifflin FC. Dwight K. Schrute. That's good. I like that. That's hilarious. Whoever that is, you're going to get it. You're going to get the name of the week. Turn the heat on. Royston Vasey, that's from the old, whatchamacallit, yeah, that show. Some classic names in there, good in there. On the back, Blackburn, I like that one. Coxie boy, nice to see. FC. So, yeah, anyway. So, there's still time to join. The code has been on the top of the screen throughout this video. But, yeah, folks, hopefully in the next episode of this, we can kind of break down the current stats. We'll take a look at the players who stood out for the match day last weekend, and we'll take a look, obviously, for the games coming up ahead. But for me, I'm going to wipe my team out so that you have completely no idea who's going to be in my 11, let alone the squad. And then we'll go again, folks. It is game time. Put on your game face. We go locking horns this weekend for match day 1. Who's going to come out on top with the opening day? And we'll have take a little look this time next week to see what's going on. Until I see you all again, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. New videos every single day right on the channel. And let's kick it off. Fantasy Football League coming at ya. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.